Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. In the early hours of June the 1st, Air France Flight 447 left Rio de Janeiro for Paris, but never arrived. The Airbus A330, with 228 people on board, went missing over the Atlantic Ocean. As search and rescue crews are recovering more bodies and debris from the ill-fated flight, investigators are trying to understand what went wrong. Engineering News senior contributing editor Keith Campbell has been covering the story and joins us now in studio. Keith, welcome to the Second Take show. Can you take us through what happened from when the plane left Rio de Janeiro until it disappeared?
Well, the flight appeared to be perfectly normal from Rio till it exited Brazilian radar coverage. The aircraft reported in at a waypoint codenamed Ingol. Now, when an airliner is flying along an air route, it passes several waypoints. These are simply points on the map, but at these points it must report into air traffic control. It reported into Brazilian air traffic control at point Ingol. It did not report any problems. The next waypoint it was to reach was codenamed Tassel. At that point, it would have contacted Senegalese air traffic control at Dakar. It did not do so. Sometime between exiting Brazilian radar coverage and reaching waypoint Tassel, the plane went down.
Can you take us through some of the scenarios? What could have caused this plane to crash?
Well, there's been a huge amount of speculation, despite the fact that the French investigators have urged people not to speculate, because we have got, at the moment, very, very, very little evidence of what happened. There's been speculation the plane stalled in a storm, but it was flying at 11,000 meters, 35,000 feet. That should not have caused it to crash. It had plenty of altitude for the aircrew to recover and resume level flight. The speculation that the storm might have destroyed the aircraft, but aircraft are designed to fly into storms. The Americans have got a specialist squadron that is devoted to flying into hurricanes, for example, to collect data. And moreover, French meteorological office has since ascertained that not only was the storm not more severe than normal, it was actually dissipating by the time the aircraft entered it. Moreover, other airliners flew through the area only minutes later without any problems. There are speculation about the pitot tubes icing up and giving inaccurate airspeed readings. But again, that shouldn't cause the plane to crash. This has happened in other aircraft and they didn't crash. There's been speculation that an incident involving a Qantas aircraft last year where false readings by an element of the avionics system caused the plane to drop 200, 300 meters suddenly. Might have happened to the Air France aircraft. But the Air France aircraft uses units of a completely different manufacture to those in Qantas, and even if it had happened, the plane was still 11 kilometers up. The crew would have had plenty of time to recover and return to the level flight. The only speculation that actually fits that would cause the destruction of the aircraft and very rapid destruction of the aircraft, remember there was no Mayday signal sent out, would have been a bomb. But again, we have no evidence as yet that there was such an event.
What will happen next in the investigations?
Well, they are collecting as much debris as possible from the surface of the sea and, of course, undertaking the grim and sad task of retrieving as many bodies as they possibly can. The bulk of the wreckage is undoubtedly on the seabed. That will include the flight data, the digital flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder, and the investigators would dearly love to get those. They will provide huge amounts of information. The French Navy nuclear submarine Emeraude is now on patrol, executing a submerged search for the beacons attached to the black boxes, as the recorders are popularly known. If it locates them, the next step will be to try and retrieve them. The French have also contracted an ocean-going tug, which has been fitted with advanced American sonar equipment yesterday in a Brazilian harbour, and that ship is now proceeding to the search area as well. It will also undertake a sweep for the wreckage, and for the beacons. And the French have a research ship. It arrived in the area, and that has mini submarines which can dive and can probably reach the wreckage and can physically examine and maybe retrieve the recorders and parts of the wreckage.
What impact does an accident like this Air France crash have on the industry at large?
On the airline industry as a whole, no impact at all. We cannot do without air travel. It's as simple as that. It can be very devastating to an individual company depending on the size of the company and its reputation. But Air France is one of the most famous airlines in the world. It's one of the oldest airlines in the world. It has a great safety record. So it's highly unlikely to have any meaningful impact on Air France.
Thank you very much. That's the Second Take show for this week. Thank you for watching and join us again next time.